Ewan Aitken's been in good form, 4 tries in 5 games. Jack de Belin likewise in the middle of the field. Pretty much everybody's numbers are up for the Dragons, and as a team as a whole, they are off the charts compared to this time in 2016. So Gareth Widdop gets us underway, the third of 3 games on Bundaberg Rum's Super Saturday, live on Fox League. It's the Cowboys to work it out from their own end, and Patrick Kaufusi will play it there about 15 out from his own line. Goes from Blake Leary in the dummy half role. He came off the bench and filled that role last week for the Cowboys. Gets a chance now in the starting side as Scott Bolton works it up towards the 40. Leary comes to this right-hand side, and here is Cohen Hess. He'll ask plenty of questions of Widdop, Laffey, and also Joel Thompson for the most part on this near side of the field in the first half. Taumalolo on the beaten side, just enormous last week against the Tigers as Morgan puts it up. He gets the first kick. It's a high floating ball that Jason Nightingale had to adjust to at the death. He was tremendous last week. What a game he had filling in for Josh Dugan against Manly at Brookvale. They tested him out, and he was great under the high ball. His general play, kick returns as well, were outstanding. And I'll play it there as it goes to that right-hand side. Aitken with a fan and gets down the sideline. Still going, Ewan Aitken. He has plenty of speed, but power to go with it. 40 out from the Cowboys line. A promising start for the Dragons, and Tyson Frizzell off the back of it. Want to really up the tempo there. Last tackle for Widdop to put it in the air. Some pressure here on Kyle Feldt, who opened the game last week with an error. He's done the same thing here. It cost the Cowboys last week. Here's a chance for Kurt Mann, ducking and diving, and eventually tackled inside the Cowboys 10. You figured they were always going to test out Kyle Feldt after what happened last week against the Tigers, and they get an immediate result. Goes from McInnes, comes to the middle. Paul Vaughan has really helped turn this forward pack around for St George Illawarra. He's only a couple of metres out. McInnes goes to the right-hand side. McCrone coming off his best ever game as far as try assists, with 4 in total against the Sea Eagles last week. McInnes back to McCrone. Gives it to Jack de Belin. Runs towards a tandem there of Asiata and also Taumalolo. And they've got one more play. McCrone goes to Widdop. Kicks towards Kyle Feldt. Once again, backing his way towards the in-goal area. There wasn't enough loft on the kick to allow the Dragons to get there, and it was an easier catch second time around for Kyle Feldt.
Well, they're playing nice and direct, the Dragons, aren't they? And the Cowboys at the moment under a little bit of pressure, but just hanging on there for that set. Oh, no, they've got 6 to go again. So
knocked out there by the Dragons. Leary comes up with it, and they get a full set from their own 20. Linnet playing up on the left-hand side tonight with Justin O'Neill back in the lineup. He's missed the last 3 weeks with a hamstring strain. Returns here this evening. A fairly mild April night. The weather in this part of the world in New South Wales has been outstanding. O'Neill cleans up the crumbs and was ankle tapped there by Laffey. Almost got a ball away to Kyle Feldt. He would have had some space in front of him. Now Asiata passes it to himself. Cooper. We see JT do that on occasions, taking a leaf out of the great halfbacks book right there. Kaufusi. Brother Felice Kaufusi grabbing a double in the first half for the Melbourne Storm against Manly in that win at Brookvale earlier today, as Morgan, his kick from the halfway line, goes down to Nightingale on the full. Once again, he brings it back out, looking for a shot there with Blake Leary. He was able to avoid that contact. And now Kurt Mann, a spread from their own end. Playing with confidence. Ball out the back there from Laffey. Mann with his speed got away from Morgan. Hess had his hands full and eventually wraps him up just outside the 30. A sizable Nene McDonald comes midfield for a carry. Plays it quickly as well, and McInnes to de Belin. They're off and running on the left-hand side. Widdop over the top. It comes to Kurt Mann. He grubbers in behind the Morgan. trailing back with the play, did enormously well.
Yeah, the edges of the St George Illawarra Dragons causing all sorts of problems defensively for the Cowboys as we see them muscle up. The Cowboys struggling to get out of their 10-metre zone.
Terrific work by Michael Morgan to stay alive on the play and get back there. Make sure he was able to clean it up for his team. Gavin Cooper playing at Leary. Come to Scott Bolton. Started the season in very good form in his full-time role. Starting forward now. Morgan from inside the 40, hooking it towards the hillside at Wynn Stadium here in Wollongong. Donald Doe getting back there. 3 kicks from the Cowboys, 3 of them taken on the full. They'll wrap up McDonald just outside the 20.
The Dragons really, outside backs, really starting to get involved, really getting their team downfield well. And we've seen Ewan Aiken and Tim Laffey on both sides of the field really asking a lot of questions. Look for the Dragons to have a few more cracks at each edge.
They've been so good with the ball, the Dragons, as Packer goes to the bell, and here's Widdop. One-on-one, he comes to Ponga. Tremendous tackle by the young fullback. He stops him 30 metres out. McInnes looking for an option. Touch there. It'll be 6 more tackles as Ponga knocked the ball down. Passes are sticking. They're going to the line and asking questions and getting results. Here's Thompson running towards Cohen Hess. Morgan comes in to help out. They still have plenty of tackles here. In fact, they've got a penalty as well. They'll tap it and go. Chance for 2 points. They decide to go for more. Here is Packer. They'll play it 5 metres out. McInnes for Widdop. Crone goes to Nightingale up in his face. Kane Linnett did very well. Forced the mistake. And it will be a knock-on against the Dragons. That's good edge defence from the Cowboys.
Yeah, nice and aggressive there from the Cowboys. And a few complaints there from Cooper, as we can see on screen. I'm not sure if he got his hand on it there. Was it Linnett coming in hard on the jam? I don't know if he's played at that ball there, Mick.
That's a great read. It's a great read on Jason Nightingale. And the Dragons, well, they get another opportunity, but the Cows, they need to hold on here.
Jason, wait, Josh. Jason, wait for it. Let's bend your backs, boys. Bend your backs. Let's go bend your backs. Shot clock off. Ball's in.
So a chance again from 10 metres out as Widdop goes to the line. It could have easily gone to the Cowboys. It goes to the Dragons instead. And here is Laffey. A couple of metres away. Nightingale waiting at dummy half. Thompson to split that gap between Tamalolo and also Cohen Hess. McInnes looking to the short side. Nightingale was there as an option. Play for Packer in the middle. Kafusi was there, so was Cooper. Midway through the set, pressing the Cowboys line. Goes to the ground. McDonald hung on to it. It came off his shin. He picked it up cleanly, it looked like, and he did the rest from there.
General tackle 4, mate. We've got to try. Just confirm this pickup's clean by Nana McDonald, please, mate.
What about the pick-up here from Nene McDonald? I think it comes off his shin. As we see there, and then he scoops it up. This will be a try if he gets it down. Well, he's caught that before it's gone to the ground.
He did well.
You see it originally bounces up off his boot and then hits his hand, but he maintains control before the ball touches the ground, so it's play on at this stage.
That's
and the ball is grounded. We have a decision going to the board.
What hands and feet from Nene McDonald. And a pretty fair put down as well. And the pressure tells on the Cowboys. Dragons score in unconventional fashion. You could tell there were points coming.
Well, they were attacking that left edge of the Cowboys, weren't they? That's the place to be with Asiata at 3 in. And some good movement there from the Dragons. A little cutout pass, bounce pass. Works more often than not. And it was great skills there, as you said, Mick, from Nene McDonald. taking his hands out of the way and letting him really basically hit him on the shins and then trying to pick up the ball from there. So smart work from McDonald as well, and a good finish.
In the lead up to that, Kev, there was some lovely wide passes from Cameron McInnes from acting half. And Josh McCrone, he came up with 4 try assists last week, albeit a bounce pass there. The vision was superb, and the pickup was even better for McDonald as Widdop pulls it left, and the Dragons lead 4 points to 0.
Let's go downstairs to Megan Barnard on the sideline.
Yeah, good evening, what a start for the Dragons there. And I tell you what, fans are absolutely loving that start. And WIN Stadium, it's a sea of red and white tonight. We should hopefully crack the 16,000 mark. Condition-wise, it's a pleasant 18 degrees. There is a slight breeze, but it shouldn't affect the kickers.
Good crowd on the hill building. Happy Dragon is extremely happy at the moment. And the Dragons, Red V Army, they're lapping it up at the moment. Why wouldn't they? They lead the league. 5 wins and 1 loss to begin this new season. No team attacks better than them. Oh boy, Nightingale passed it forward, surely. That's how the referee sees it. He was falling over the dead ball line, and the only way to pass it from there was forward.
It was nearly a Houdini act from Jason Nightingale. He catches it there.
In fact, it was McCrone.
Well, he's out anyway, but it wasn't a bad attempt, was it?
No, it was a different style of kick too from Felt. He normally gets them up a bit higher and swirling, but that was a deeper, longer kick, and it's come off all right for the Cowboys.
A chance to hit back. Bolton brings it midfield, stopped there by Vaughan and Packer. He's in the process of telling you that Cowboys have had the better of the Dragons in recent seasons. The Dragons have only won twice since 2012 against the Cowboys. On both occasions, Jonathan Thurston didn't play. We know how they struggle. The great number 7. Here's Leary from dummy half. It goes across to Asiata, showing it, going himself, backing himself. He's a confident player. Sense that in the way he goes about his work coming off the bench. Now a kick. Leary in behind them. Gala Mosby is there. And the Cowboys have wasted no time in hitting back.
General tackle 5. Try. Confirm the onside, please, mate.
We've cleared the Cowboys' left side kick chase, moving through the grounding.
There'll be no drama with the grounding after everybody, including Gavin Cooper, was ruled onside.
And we see the ball is grounded. We have a decision going to the board.
Perhaps the quickest player in the NRL. That might be saying something.
Well, I don't think there's too much doubt about that. He was there 2 or 3. There's the green light for the try. But a good fight back there from the Cowboys, and what a nice kick from Leary. We haven't seen this from him in the dummy half roll. His kicking game at all, Mick, and that's a tough kick to do, isn't it? Down that short side, there's legs, bodies everywhere, and he's threaded the needle beautifully there. Look at the...
Yeah, it's a great skill to have. Russell Packer left on the ground there, left one marker, jumped out of dummy half beautifully to the left-hand side, rolls it off the inside of his left boot. Nene McDonald caught infield, and Gella Mosby flies over in the corner and gets the Cowboys back into a 4-point ball game.
He could have had a cup of tea before he put that down. He was there that quick. I mean, geez, quick off the mark. You just can't sort of... It's hard to manage that sort of speed and control it. When the kick's that good and he's on the spot like that, it's a great little play in the game.
And the Dragons with all the momentum early, and then an error off the kickoff, and the Cowboys strike back. 4 points to all with the kick to come by Felt.
3 tries in 4 games for Gideon Gillum Mosby. Now it's Kyle Felt who has the kicking duties for the Cowboys, with Thurston out of action. Ethan Lowe would be their first choice kicker, but he's, of course, working off the bench tonight. Felt last season had 6 attempts for just 1 kick successful.
Yeah, he's freakish, this kid, Gideon Gala Mosby, just 20 years of age, born in Cairns. This just his 4th game of NRL, and with that, as was mentioned, he brings up his 3rd try for the season. Well done.
Such an exciting player. Kalen Ponga likewise in the fullback role, still filling in for Lachlan Cooper. We know he's headed to the Newcastle Knights. They're licking their lips there in the Hunter ahead of 2018 and what they might get from Kalen Ponga. Very slowly off the ground. He was Patrick Afusi. He was rattled in that contact. Doesn't look that convincing at the moment, just flexing the neck there behind the play. Now Taumalolo's put it down, and it's going to be ruled a knock on against the steamrolling lock forward.
And the Dragons' defence is really muscled up after that try. We see Taumalolo carry the ball. Good contact there from Vaughan and McInnes. Some hands around the football, but a loose carry there from Taumalolo, and the Dragons get the opportunity now to set up attack inside the Cowboys area.
Conversion rate at this end of the field so far this season has been outstanding. The Dragons, they get another chance right here as Nightingale comes out to Laffey. Turns O'Neill inside out, Morgan around the leg, and Leary coming across as well. Could have easily given away a penalty there for being vigorous after the tackle had been completed. Thompson will play it 20 metres out. McInnes at dummy half. It goes to DeBellin. Vaughan back on the angle. Runs head first into Cohen Hess. Bolton around the legs. Kafusi's recovered. He was there as well. From midfield, Lisa Narmau steps out of the Leary tackle. Taumalolo got to him, so did Kafusi. Kalen Ponga at A defender there behind the play. The ball was exposed last week. They might expose them on the edges here. Kyle Felt, though, takes an intercept. Nobody in front of him. Thompson can't foot it with him. Coming across, Josh McCrone can.
What a tackle.
He might have been Steve Mortimer in another era. What a covering tackle that was. Here's Cohen Hess. Ponga is there. Nightingale came up quickly and shut it down before Ponga could go to his left-hand side. Morgan heads out to Wasiata. Long ball. It bypasses Leary. Linnett's there. Gillum Mosby cuts back on the inside. Linnett staying with it. Will go to ground about 8 metres out from the Dragons' line. What a play by Kyle Felt. The other end of the field. Taumalolo trying to storm his way over the top of Jack DeBellin. Leary to Asiata. Morgan now. Hess. Nabbed very quickly there by Tim Laffey, and he lost it as well. Great defence by Laffey. Hess not too impressed, but it was good work by the left centre.
What about some frustration building? The tackle from Josh McCrone. It was a super play from Kyle Felt. He did brilliantly well here. Laffey went for the flick pass and Felt a brilliant job to scoop it up, and he was away. He outran Thompson, but McCrone came from nowhere in a classic grass tackle. And the Dragons scrambled from everywhere, and in the end, a beautiful tackle from Gareth Widdett, one-on-one with Cohen Hess, and he forced the error.
They probably needed that ball to be shifted there on that tackle there. Unfortunately, it went to... Hess got into dummy half and couldn't find his man. The play broke down, and the Dragons scrambled really well to get themselves back behind the football.
It's been a real strength for the Dragons, their defence this season. And Josh Dugan spoke to us early in the week on the Sterlo show about how Paul McGregor wants them to stay in that fight, stay in that grind for that whole 80 minutes. And their scramble defence there was evident. Brilliant.
Come on, out! Thank you, mate. Thanks, bud.
It's been very entertaining so far. 4 apiece between the Dragons and the Cowboys. Ewan Aiken hook the forwards out as they recover from the... There's not many forwards packing the scrums these days. Most of them stand outside the scrum. The Dragons get some help to work it out of their own end. And they'll find the line here and put some more pressure on the Cowboys. And now, speaking of calf muscles, they've been all the rage recently. Thurston's not here. Lachlan Coots not here. And Matt Noyen, the assistant referee, has just left the game. That was the delay at the scrum with a calf strain.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for Noyen. He got knocked over last week. I think it was in the Cowboys game. And he's left the field tonight with a calf injury.
At the moment, the Dragons on the attack as Widdett comes across. Nightingale making the extra man. Laffey grabbed there by Kyle Felt. Jams in from the wing. Widdett at first receiver. Vaughan. A show to Jack DeBellin. Hangs on to it, asking the question once again. McInnes, quick play the ball. DeBellin, as a result, was almost able to paw his way into the in-goal area. Great tackle tackle over the top to save a try by Scott Bolton. Here's McCrone kicking towards McDonald. Will go up for it. The ball came down. It looked like Gillum Mosby. In fact, they're saying, Henry Perinara, is he saying it was a knock-on by the Cowboys? It's going to be a Dragons feed.
When you've got the strike weapon out there of McDonald up against young Gillum Mosby, there's certainly some height difference there, and we see him fly above the pack. Mosby just got his hands to it, and I think when he comes down, he knocks on just there. It was Radradra that ran over the top of Noyan last week. I apologise. So it has been a rough fortnight for him.
No one semi-running over the top of you, no matter what your role is.
Thank you.
I would have thought so. That would have
Head in,
been too
please,
nice.
Cam. Head in, Callum. Right, heads in, boys. Right, clock off. Feet.
Patrick Kafusi coming from the field. Confirm whether that's for a head injury assessment after that rattling tackle he was involved in earlier in the game. DeBella works it towards the uprights. And the ball comes free in the tackle. Gavin Cooper ends up with it. We'll play it here for the Cowboys. So a real let-off there by the Dragons. They're by far the better of possession inside the 20 so far. 17 tackles they've had. Just 7 for the Cowboys at the other end inside the 20. Leary for Morgan to kick from inside the 40. Nobody at home. It's out on the full. He went early in the tackle count, liked his chances, but the angle was just off.
Yeah, it was a good option there from Morgan to try and pick up the 40-20, but just unfortunately there, didn't quite get it off the middle of the boot. Sprawled over the sideline.
If there is a weakness in his game, it probably is his general play kicking. A couple of errant ones last week against the Tigers as well.
Paul and Henry tells you, mate.
See Kafusi making his way back towards the Cowboys bench. The Dragons have it just outside the 30. Guinness from dummy half. Goes to Vaughan. Just try and set the table for the Dragons. Bump it forward, and now McInnes has DeBellin and Widdop working on this left-hand side. Widdop almost in behind them. Morgan was under pressure, so was Justin O'Neill. Thompson straightens. Good tackle by O'Neill. The now international. Very effective there. Widdop, numbers here. Laffey, they just caught them disorganised down the short side, and Laffey goes in untouched. It was almost too easy.
Well, Gareth Widdop came into the game with 6 try assists, make it 7. Beautiful vision, recognised that Justin O'Neill had to come infield and make the tackle on Thompson. He'd come back the short side on a beautiful wide pass, and some lovely footwork from Laffey, who's really found some form. And the Dragons, 8 points to 4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, they just didn't have the numbers there, did they, the Cowboys? It was a wide stretch on the field down a shorter side, I mean, and just didn't have quite the amount of number of defenders required. And Widdop has picked that, as you say, and Laffey did the rest. Gee, they're playing some good football, the Dragons. I mean, just taking their opportunities. They've been down here a few times now and come up with nothing, but on that occasion, come up with the 4 points and possibly 6.
That's smart footy, isn't it, Kev, from a half to recognise that the centre had been caught infield. They had an edge-back rower down there, got a lovely wide pass from his dummy half, and it was just a matter of just playing short and square.
Yeah, I was just about to give Justin O'Neill a rap for the tackle that he made, but
it was a great tackle.
He just probably, yeah, well,
but it was the vision of Widdop, wasn't it, to come back down that edge, down a narrow edge, and really exploit the Cowboys' right side defence.
First ever try for Tim Laffey against the North Queensland Cowboys as Widdop lines up this kick. The Dragons, by comparison to this time last year, scoring 20 more points per game as Widdop adds the extra 2 points to make it 10-4 against the Cowboys midway through this opening half. Wynn Stadium in Wollongong, live on Fox League. They're scoring 3.5 more tries per game, running for 130 metres more per game, and busting 10 more tackles as well compared to the first 6 rounds of 2016. The transformation could not be more stark.
No, and those stats are there, and they're great, but you can just see by watching the Dragons, the way they play, they're much more direct, particularly through their middle guys, and Widdop's even playing as direct like he's back in his Melbourne days, where he's coming onto the ball nice and straight, and then if he wants to go a little bit sideways, well, he can, and otherwise it's all been nice and direct, and that's The fastest way to the try line is straight and direct.
Kyle Felt, floating, spinning kick, an awkward one to handle, and McCrone coming, rather Kurt Mann coming forward this time.
Brilliant take.
Was able to take it. It was an awkward one. A strike by Kyle Felt. Got a result, of course, earlier in the game. McCrone stepping on the dead ball line, trying to keep the ball in play. And he got it back again then. Paul Vaughan, there it is again. And the replay box in the corner of the screen. Almost lost it, but did well to hang on to it. Brazil going nowhere. The tackle here of Bolton and also Leary. Play 5 coming up. Widdop will kick early in the set. What a good strike on it, but Kyle Felt going back inside his 20. Took it on the full. Kalen Ponga. Long run last week, 70 metres in the second half at 1 point to almost produce something for the Cowboys as they were trying to pressure the Tigers. Mosby here stepping in traffic, just about away as well. Linnett takes it across the halfway line. The Cowboys still trying to work out how they best use Kalen Ponga in attack. We haven't really seen him be a factor inside the red zone in his time in the fullback role, replacing Lachlan Coote. Here's Taumalola. Asiata had Ponga on the outside, fends away from Brazil, still going. Asiata. Might be his best go as well. His running game, just take it to them and see if they can stop him. The kick here is too big. It'll be a 7-tackle set for the Dragons. It's Kalen Ponga rolling it off the left boot. Options on his outside, decided to put it on the ground. It just refused to sit up for Gella Mosby.
A bit unfortunate there. The Cowboys, they were building nicely, but this will relieve some pressure now from the Dragons. Asiata's been outstanding in the opening part of this game with his work in the halves. Looks like a veteran halfback.
Great skill for a big man. Great skill. Plays nice and direct. A lovely soft pass. Some nice footwork. He's been brilliant, as you mentioned, Kev, early in the early exchanges of this game.
Vaughan, good contact there from Taumalola first up. And he'll play it 40 out from the Cowboys line. McInnes goes to McCrone. He'll take it to ground. 4 plays gone in this set. McInnes again for Vaughan. Now Widdop. Dangerous on this left-hand side once again. Laffey to the outside of O'Neill. Mann's got too much speed, and he leaps to score again. Widdop, Laffey, Kurt Mann on this left-hand side, cutting the Cowboys to ribbons.
Well, this is enterprising rugby league here from the St George Illawarra Dragons. Tim Laffey causing Justin O'Neill all sorts of problems down this left edge. We see Nightingale with a nice pass, gets Laffey on the outside of O'Neill, and the one-handed flick pass drew in Kyle Felt, and Kurt Mann gets the one-handed put down in the corner, and the Dragons right on top here.
Well, they certainly are, and trusting each other with their passing and their catching. And then on that occasion, man, I like the way he stuck to the sideline there. He knew the pass was coming, the offload, the flick from Laffey. Look at that finish. Through the air. He's got the right shirt on there for the red coat, Mick.
Well, the class of Tim Laffey getting on the outside of Justin O'Neill, a world-class centre, put Kyle Felt in 2 minds, and as all good wingers do, Kurt Mann held his sideline, and a beautiful try there in the corner. And the Dragons 14 points to 4 with the kick to come.
Just using the width of the field well as well. They're pushing hard through the middle, but then when it's time to shift the ball, they shift it quickly, and to a man, they just do their roles beautifully.
And after playing a big role in the Kurt Mann try, Gareth Widdop from the sideline. Make it a 2 converted try lead. It's hooking back, hits the upright and stays out. remains at 14 points to 4. Downstairs to me.
Well, it's just an update on those couple of HIA tests. The Dragons' Russell Packer, he went to the sheds. There he is. He is right to come back on. He's busting to come back on, that's for sure. We're still waiting on the Cowboys' Patrick Kafusi. We'll keep you updated on him.
It's interesting that Kafusi stayed on the field as long as he did before he came off to get that concussion test. And scoring the try, Kurt Mann might have tweaked a shoulder there. There's an athletic put down. A couple of them already. From McDonald and Mann on either side of the field. 3 tries to 1. Dragons well on top here. And a little bit of salt into the wound. Coming off the bench, Tarek Sims. It's been tremendous in that middle third for the Dragons so far this season. Great first carry right there. It's here again, running towards Ethan Lowe and Scott Bolton. Man gets in by the McInnes to dummy half. It goes across Jack DeBellin. Work it beyond the halfway line.
What a carry.
Huge meters again here. They scored the previous try off the 7-tackle set. Here they are once more. Great position at the back end of this set. Put up an attacking kick. McInnes. They go to Widdop down the short side. He puts it in the air. Ponga standing underneath it, coming through. Nightingale made a contest of it, as did Laffey. It was a very good catch by Kalen Ponga in the end. Now Felder's put it down. It could be an expansive error from the right winger there. Down by 10 points. They gift the Dragons a full set from inside the 20.
Yeah, this will be danger signs here for the Cowboys. Just slipped out of his hands there.
Yep.
We've seen them attack from scrums as well, the Dragons. They're all their players are fanning out to the right side.
Yeah, that's just a lack of concentration there from Kyle Feldt. He came into the game with 15 errors already this season. And again, a poor turnover there from Kyle Feldt. And as you mentioned, the Dragons stacked to the right-hand side here, looking to attack.
McCrone gives it to Frizzell, a freight train. Headed towards the uprights at warp speed. Good effort to stop him, but they give away a penalty right in front of the uprights. A 10-point lead could very easily become 12.
The best attacking team in the competition, and they're going to take 2.
Was a nervous Queensland Origin coach watching Tyson Frizzell come onto the football like that. Yeah. Kevy's just jumped under the desk.
Yeah, well, I'll be getting out of the way of him if I was playing. Yeah, look, he had a great series last year for New South Wales too, didn't he? And didn't finish last week's game, but again tonight, how hard does he run?
Powerful.
Just so powerful.
Powerful and fast. We saw the chase last year on Dane Gagai in Origin. You see him come onto the football here at a rate of knots and straight through the tackle of Ethan Lowe.
Yeah. It's been part of their therapy this year is that the back row of the Dragons are just playing out of their skins with Thompson, himself and DeBellin. Have been as good as any back row in the competition. It's because they're running hard and they're running the right lines as well. Big transformation here for the Dragons.
Kev, you mentioned when you know your job, you can just go out and do it with intent because you know what's required of you, and that's what's happened with the Dragons this season. They've stripped their attack back. They're running hard and direct, as we see Widdop drive it through and take a 16 points to 4 lead. That's what's so good about them this season is they're just doing their job with purpose and intent in everything they do because their roles are simplified.
A lot of confidence as well, aren't they? And that comes from winning, I suppose, more than anything, and that trust factor that you have in your teammate.
They're doing it in every facet of the game at the moment. Kafusi back jogging along the sideline, looks to have been cleared, you would imagine. On that side there from his concussion test. He'll be back out there at some point. Kyle Feldt gets his back underway. Mistake he made, eventually costing just the 2 points as he goes to Tarek Sims to get this set underway. Just over half an hour gone. The Dragons in control. We've said that plenty of times already this season. Russell Packer, he's back out there after the HIA assessment and goes to Jason Nightingale from dummy half. Gets a ball away. McGuinness quickly to McCrone. Now Frizzell almost getting away from them. Asiata around the leg. Some help from Linnett. The big meters again. Play 4. They're storming their way towards the try line. Packer for Winnip. They are the entertainers. They're an attacking juggernaut. The Dragons are in for try number 4. Look at the celebrations.
You spoke about their attacking ability. This is all on show here again for the Dragons, and it started with Jack DeBellin coming through the middle. A lovely little turn of play there, gets his right arm free, and Packer pushing through with Widdop in support. Did a beautiful job to draw the fullback in Ponga. And like all good halves, Gareth Widdop goes under the posts, and the Dragons 20 points to 4 with a kick to come.
Yeah, we mentioned these back rowers here of the Dragons, and the offload again. The support play from Packer, outstanding. And Widdop always going to be hard to bring down from there. This is outstanding rugby league from the Dragons. I mean, just playing direct, and that everyone, as we mentioned, for the opening 30 minutes of this game, everyone knows their job here tonight, and they are doing it to a T.
They beat the Cowboys without Thurston here last year, 14 points to 10. A rather dour effort. Well, tonight they're putting the Cowboys without Thurston to the sword. We still have plenty of time before the break here.
Well, we have. And the Cowboys just haven't had any possession. It's been all Dragons using very wisely.
Right in front, Gareth Widdop makes it 22 points to 4. They're short-staffed, the Cowboys, but even still, this scoreline is a dramatic one. The Dragons running them off their feet, and they're doing it by just pouring through the middle of the field. The meters they're making from their own end, and we mentioned how many more they are making this year. It's graphic what they're doing against the Cowboys here tonight. 704 meters they've run for already to 408 for the Cowboys. What an effort, Megan.
Yeah, he's in career best form right now. Gareth Widdop picking up right where he left off last week. That try bringing his tally to 6 for the season.
Oh, they're in the queue at the moment, the Dragons. The try-scoring ranks coming thick and fast. It is remarkable.
You mentioned the bench injection of Sims and Armour. They've been terrific all season. We see Packer carrying the football here. But this is when they really start to create some second phase football. We're seeing some offloads come into their game. It'll really break up the Cowboys' defence here.
Quite obviously, this forward pack has altered shape dramatically in past seasons for the Cowboys, with the injury to Matt Scott, the season-ending ACL tear, the departure of James Tarmo. They are being questioned here tonight, and Paul Green will question his forwards. At half-time, he'll be saying, boys, it's pretty simple what's happening. We are not matching the Dragons. They'll bring it out of their own end. We just have to muscle up and try and get something going. Just get a stop. Limit them to a kick from inside their own territory. They've been pouring through holes in the last 10 minutes of this game. Galen Mosby will play it. Goes from Ben Hampton, who's out there now at dummy half. They work it beyond the 30. A fair bit of defence already. See what they've got left in the tank here before the break. Asiata showing it again, putting it down. It's that sort of night, isn't it?
Yeah, you mentioned their forward pack. Coming into the season, I was always concerned. Without Hannett, they lost Tarmo. And then to compound that, the loss of Matt Scott, their leader, their captain, in that middle third of the field. Well, it's evident tonight at the moment they're just getting simply overpowered by the big Dragons forwards. And you're right, it'll be an area that Paul Green will address at half-time.
Jason Taumalolo played 80 minutes last week against the Tigers, getting a break at the moment. Bolton and Leary alongside him as well. Now, chance again for the Dragons. Right off the scrum win. Aiken just about stepping through. Another penalty.
Ben Hampton.
They lead by 18. From right in front, they could make it 20, but they tap it and go. Why not? Here's Sims. Big forearm up and plants it in the chest of Ethan Lowe. McInnes, Frizzell. They're just feeding off each other. Such energy with these carries from the forwards. De Belin doing the ball play. Here's Widdop again. Laffey steps into another hole. He has a double. Laffey is in for the Dragons. It's one-way traffic.
One-way traffic indeed. And again, Laffey the man to finish off this Dragons movement. There's good work from the inside from the two middle forwards just to hold that Cowboys defence. And that's the pass there. De Belin got Widdop on the outside, and then through he goes. He got on the inside shoulder of Justin O'Neill. Again, terrific work from the inside, and the players running the right lines. Beautiful try from the Dragons there. They look dangerous every time they've ventured into the Cowboys territory, and that's been offered in the last 10 minutes.
Laffey reaping the benefits. Widdop serving it up to him on a platter. His service with his passing from the inside has been outstanding again here tonight, and his price must be skyrocketing given what we've seen in the player transfer market in recent weeks.
Without a doubt, there's so much conjecture around the halves situation at the moment at numerous clubs, but the form of Gareth Widdop this season has been quite incredible, considering last year he looked down on confidence and was at times just wasn't there form-wise. But this season, he has been absolutely superb as we see him add another 2 points. And the Dragons, 28 points to 4. There's 2 minutes to go here before half-time. What a first half from the Dragons.
They look to be in a mood as well. They might put on a massive scoreline here unless the Cowboys can aim up in the second half. They are being punished for every mistake they make. Again, it was Asiata at their own end, putting the ball down. And the Dragons in the very next set scoring again through Laffey. 22 tackles they've had inside the Cowboys 20. And they've scored 5 tries. Here's Packer rolling it up towards the 20. Possession stats so lopsided. The Dragons 65% of the ball, 35% for the Cowboys. They completed 18 of 21. The Cowboys have completed only 6 sets of 6 for this half. They are 6 from 11.
Not seen a stat like that for a long time.
Now Widdop will just chip it in behind them. Laffey chasing through and sits up on a point for Kalen Ponga. Look out if he gets a chance. He juggles it, then loses it. 30 seconds before half-time. And the Dragons will get at least a couple of plays here to add to this scoreline. Brazil plays it to Nightingale. Comes to Sims. Tracks across the field. He thinks he's Benji Marshall trying to link up with somebody on that far side. McInnes goes to McCrone. Cut out ball. It goes to ground and will go into touch. And that'll do it for an opening half that belonged to the Dragons in every possible way. What an incredible 40 minutes. The Dragons lead the Cowboys 28 points to 4. Kyle Felt will get us underway in the second half. Can the Cowboys find a little bit of starch? Perhaps the kicking team needs a bit of starch. The ball drops off the tee. Frisson of excitement through the ground here at half-time. Dragons fans high-fiving each other, really lapping it up. Why wouldn't they? The kickoff bounces at the goal line. Awkward one for Jason Nightingale, and he will play it here just outside the Dragons' 10. Maybe show something in the middle of the field. That's the first port of call for the Cowboys as far as what they had to fix from that first 40 minutes, because Packer, Sims, standing at the back end. Tyson Frizzell going at them. Paul Vaughan off the beginning of the game. The likes of Jack de Belin, who pops the ball here. Could have forced the issue and forced a mistake, but Nightingale was there to help him out. McInnes kicks from dummy half. It bounces awkwardly here for Gillum Osby. Hands it off to his former under-20s teammate, Kalen Ponga. They're a dynamic winger and fullback combination, even at this level. The early stages of their career, if they can get some space, nobody will touch them. Now another mistake by Kyle Felt. Well, it was going to be until on the advice of Adam G there, the replacement referee, the assistant saying that it was helped out.
Yeah, maybe you got that one wrong. A lucky blow there for Felt. Certainly was, but it's the Cowboys' first opportunity in the second half to just build some pressure and get their game rhythm intact.
Here is Point. Goes wide, the ball goes to ground, and Miller Mosby cleans it up, runs in behind Linnett. Play on is the call as Morgan hits the advantage line before he's stopped there, and then Nightingale comes in to make sure he hits the grass. Hampton at dummy half. Here's Kafusi, had the concussion test midway through that opening 40. Back out there to begin the second half. Morgan's pass goes to ground. Touched there by a Dragon. There'll be 6 more tackles from a scrum coming up for the Cowboys, 10 metres out.
Yeah, it's evident, isn't it, Kev? Just without key players like Granville and obviously Thurston, world-class players, that we see a little touch there from Gareth Widdop. As you mentioned, their attacks just look clunky tonight, but they get another opportunity here.
Yeah, I think Michael Morgan's the most experienced player in those halves are in that spine. He's got to take some control here. They can get some possession. Morgan can influence this game in some way, but at the moment they just haven't had enough possessions.
It's Morgan going to Ponga. Not much happening for him there, and then Tyson Frizzell, a dramatic way to bring him to ground. That was interesting. A short ball from Hampton from dummy half. Good well not to pass it forward as it turned out. Now they go to Morgan. Here's Cohen Hess, who makes a habit grabbing tries in exactly these situations. Grabbed a double last week against the Tigers. Corey Jensen will play it here just a couple of metres out. On debut tonight. Now Asiata, Linnett against the staggered defensive line. Aitken and McDonald up in front of him, but Aitken did well one-on-one against his opposite number. Last tackle, Asiata, Grubbers in behind them. Morgan chasing through. Good work by Cameron McInnes to try and force him back in the end goal there. Well, now he loses the ball. Was helped out on the way through by Michael Morgan, I think you'll find. And the Dragons get the easy way out of their own 20.
Yeah, it was a nice little touch there from Asiata. Rolled the short little grubber in. Morgan chased hard, but it was beautiful play there from Cameron McInnes. Desperate stuff. And a relieving penalty suits the Dragons already out to the 30-metre line.
And it's Tyson Frizzell who played here just short of the 40. Ewan Aitken. Hand carry before he tucked the ball into the arm to absorb the impact there of Ethan Lowe and friends as Sims works it back towards the halfway line. 4.5 gone. No change to our halftime scoreline. 28-4. Widdop. That ball there, it goes to ground. Perhaps their first mistake on that left-hand side tonight. Thompson was the target. Couldn't hang on to it. It was a point-blank pass. And now it's ripped away from Justin O'Neill and backwards by McCrone, who has possession. Well, that was clever.
Beautiful play there. The Dragons at the moment have come out in this second half and they're just trying to expose the Cowboys defence without playing through them as they did in the first half. They just need to settle. We've already seen a forced offload from DeBellin in the first set, a forced pass from Gareth Widdop in the previous set. They just need to get back to doing what they do and the points will come.
It's DeBellin playing it. And McInnes goes out to Widdop. Nightingale going sidewise, and as a result, easily taken to ground there by Morgan and O'Neill. Laffey quickly down the short side, puts a kick in. Ponga bringing it forward. They had him in the air. He'll play it there, just outside his own 10. And there are issues with their hands, especially at their own end. Kyle Felt hangs on to this carry, and now a shift to work it away from the sideline. Kane Linnett picked off by Josh McCrone. We're raving about the Dragons attack, and why wouldn't we? Well, they've gone about their work here again tonight, but their defence, second in the league, they were ranked coming into tonight's game. Both sides of the ball.
Right, yeah, right.
Revamped team. Kick. from Hampton. Goes over the head of Nightingale. Link up here with Kurt Mann. Grabbed by Gavin Cooper. And with nothing else, the Cowboys have got themselves in the arm wrestle to begin this second half, and they've also forced a mistake.
It came on the back of probably their best kick of the night, and that came from young Hampton out of acting half. Maybe that's where they need to get their kicking game from. They struggled a little in the first half. We saw a couple from Ponga, a couple from Michael Morgan, but that was a lovely strike there from Hampton, and they forced an error here. Man, just simply trying to play the football too early.
A little bit of luck going the Cowboys' way there too with Hassel in the tackle there. But for mine, they've got to go to their right edge, the Cowboys. That's their most experienced edge with Morgan.
Heading, Jason. Right, clock off.
O'Neill there as well.
Morgan with Ponga on his outside. He also has Gillum Osby. His speed will worry them, but he ran himself into a dead end. And McDonald takes him into touch.
Brilliant defence here from Nene McDonald. He knows how much speed Mosby's got, and he's going to back his speed, so he shows him the sideline. They come up here. Morgan does well to get on the outside there of McCrone. A lovely pass. But McDonald and Aitken working together in tandem, force him over the sideline. And again, the Cowboys come up with another error.
Yeah, he just rustled him over the sideline there, didn't he? Used it to his advantage, McDonald. And they'll be disappointed with that, the Cowboys. Had a good opportunity there. Morgan trying to inject himself into the game. Just need possession. Don't keep turning it over.
Mistake by Mann cost the Dragons. Here they are through Thompson to play it for McInnes. To Leeson, Armour just working it forward. Chance potentially for an offload there, but hung on to it. Message would have gone out. Just make it off to a sloppy start. Invite the Cowboys into the contest in some way here. Play it there. Saleh is also off the bench now for the Dragons, carrying that previous set. And now they'll force Ponga backwards inside his own 20. Muscle from the Dragons. Felt driving hard, but well handled by Laffey. Also Saleh. Morgan. Play it here for Felt. Close to Corey Jensen. Hails from Bowen, of course. Bowen smashed by Cyclone Debbie. There's a rising front row with the Cowboys in the under-20s in 2014. Not offered a contract beyond that season. Spent the last couple of years with the Townsville Blackhawks. Hails from a family that includes one brother and, or rather, one sister and 6 brothers. It's almost a Laurie Daly family in reverse, Kevin.
Yeah, it certainly is. Good to see him out here tonight for the Cowboys. Scoreboard not so good for him, but I'm sure he's enjoying it.
Tough night to be on display for the first time at this level. Here is McInnes stepping out of trouble and playing it quickly enough. The speed of the play, the balls have really hurt the Cowboys here as well tonight. Laffey, and what a show it is. He goes to Kurt Mann. He stops, fends away from the tackle there of O'Neill. He's had a tough return to the NRL tonight. Justin O'Neill against Widdop, Laffey, and this man, Kurt Mann, playing it just outside the 20. Armour goes towards Hampton. They've got one more play here, 15 metres out. Widdop. Put a cross kick in. McDonald is out here up against Gillum Osby. They leave it for him. They dumped it out the back for Ewan Aitken. They're happy to wrap him up. The Cowboys hang on, but an impressive set once again from St George Illawarra.
Yeah, Gareth Widdop, he's just causing so many problems down that right-hand side defence for the Cowboys again. Him and Laffey finding a way through some beautiful razzle-dazzle one-handed offloads. And now the Dragons force the Cowboys 2 metres from their try line.
Gillum Osby bouncing back to his feet after doing the tackle up around the shoulders, maybe just fractionally beyond. Ben Spooner is out there also for North Queensland. Fresh troops here for Paul Green. Certainly needs something. Cohen Hess. play it. Still just 25 metres out from his own line. Second last play in this set. Nothing doing for Ethan Lowe. He ends up on his back, and a good tackle there by Ame Sele, and the kick deep inside Cowboys territory, allowed to bounce by Nightingale. McDonald picks it up, fends away from Gilla Mosby, who is still very much a lightweight. He's giving away some height and some size there, isn't he, in that little matchup?
Yeah, he certainly is, and then he's just getting the big fend out there, and then I think he bumped him as well, so tough night for the young Cowboys winger.
Frizzell off the right foot, almost between the gap there of Jensen and Hampton. Now look at the speed of the play of the balls. Another quick one coming up here off the legs tackle. We'll go to McInnes. Could have easily been a penalty against Spooner for hanging on. Nightingale took the tip on the full from McCrone. McInnes, Sims trying to stay alive. It was a touch by a Cowboy. No, it wasn't. Play on there for North Queensland. This is the only thing they hadn't produced so far was a chip and chase, and it almost produced a result.
What can't he do? Gareth Widdop, he's been superb, and a lovely little left foot chip over the top there for Nightingale. And it nearly led to another brilliant try. We see Frizzell come out of the line.
There's going to be a penalty for the high contact. At least an arm there, speaking of high contact. Palm in the face there of Ben Hampton. Frizzell was a man on a mission. They've got them rattled. With the ball, without the ball. Over the first contact there.
Yeah, not a lot in it, that one, that's for sure.
The Cowboys have survived the first 13 minutes of this second half without conceding more points. Cooper will play it here as it goes from Hampton. Asiata. Tamalolo back out there now. They certainly need him on deck. Fairly bunched around the middle of the field. Not much happening on that right-hand side. Now, good carry. Hampton gets him going in the right direction. He plays it there, and Spooner was up in support of Hampton, but no real timing as Hampton looked up to his left-hand side. Tamalolo, Asiata, first man play for Cohen Hess, but Gareth Widdop doing well. Sims helped out, so did Jason Nightingale. Look, he's still going, Cohen Hess. Hampton goes to Morgan. A grubber, a chance coming through. Ben Spooner scores for the Cowboys.
Huh?
They want to check it.
I'm checking and I'm starting with a try.
He'll be desperate for this to be awarded a try.
Try. Turn the onside through to the grounding, please, mate.
Game number 9 of his NRL career, looking for his second try. It looked okay watching it live. A little deflection there off the boot of McInnes. Frizzell made contact with him. The only question is the put down. He wins the race pretty comfortably.
Yeah, he does, and followed through well there for a fronty. More like his dad than chasing through there, Laurie Spooner, but well done to the young front rower. He's been good since he came on, Spooner. Added some enthusiasm to this Cowboys pack.
Well, Kev, you said Michael Morgan, if it was going to come from anywhere, a fight back, it needed to come from him.
Yeah, well, he's their most experienced player in the halves and going to take a bit of control of this game.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful little short kick. He summed it up nicely. It did take a deflection from McInnes, but you mentioned Spooner. Never gave up on it, and it was a lovely short kick into the in goal. Spooner come from outside in, got bumped by Frizzell, but was desperate to get there and gets the Cowboys on the scoreboard for the second half at 28 points to 8 with a kick to come.
Well, done well to this point to shut out the Dragons. We've had some chances at the other end of the field since the resumption, and from right in front, Kyle Felt will make it 28 points to 10. Downstairs to Meager.
Yeah, just 18 points the gap now was. Now, don't forget, there's still plenty of footy action to come this Easter long weekend. Tomorrow, it's the Panthers and Sharks from Pepper Stadium. Join Jess Yates, Braithen Astor and Cooper Cronk on the Sunday ticket. And the round wraps up on Easter Monday with Western Sydney rivals, the Eels and Tigers, going head-to-head at ANZ. You can join Matt Shervington, Greg Alexander and Steve Blocker-Roach from 3:30 p.m. Eastern.
Looking forward to that one. ANZ Stadium.
How good will that be? Sitting in front of the telly with your chocolates, your Easter eggs. I'm assuming the Easter Bunny's coming to you.
No chocolates for me. I'll be resting up for that big clash, Kevy, between the
You'll
Tigers
be working.
and the Eels. It's a big game for Parramatta, in particular. The Tigers, of course, impressive last week. And Ivan Cleary for the first time against this team, the North Queensland Cowboys, who've got something going here suddenly. Hess, good carry, and now Morgan had a chance to pass to Felt. 6 more tackles coming up here. Felt has it just outside the 20. There was a touch there from the Dragons. Goes to Morgan. Long left-hand side set against a disorganised right edge for the Dragons. If they want it, they get a penalty instead. Perhaps on that occasion there, they might have preferred play on. The Dragons recovered off that break down the other side of the field. They were limited for numbers on this near sideline.
They've got to go right.
Jensen plays it for Hampton. They work it through the middle. Tamalolo running towards McGuinness. Nightingale there again has been very good defensively in the fullback role tonight. Hampton goes to Asiata. Morgan had to slightly wait for it. As a result, Laffey was up in his face and he was going nowhere. O'Neill, Asiata, try scorer, Spina looking for a double. Not too far away, a couple of metres out. And number 5 here is Morgan. Got something set now. Asiata bypasses Ponga. Linnett, Gella Mosby. Plenty of red jumpers in front of him. He comes back midfield, threads the needle somehow, but Jason Nightingale had tracked towards the corner post, recovered, got to the grubber and stays in the field of play.
How good's Nightingale? So experienced. Every week he does this for the Dragons. Big play. The Cowboys starting to get momentum. Mosby, a lovely little grubber, and tried to follow it through. And the ever-reliable Jason Nightingale, big play for the Dragons.
He is the pro's pro, isn't he? Ever reliable. Can do a job, whether it's on the wing, the fullback position at the moment for Josh Dugan. Paul Vaughan back out there. Nice carry, and now Widdop from inside the 40. Kyle Felt is back there. Mixed night, I guess you could say, with his hands. Here he links up with Ponga. A chance to show what he can do. Runs towards Nightingale, stops, starts, goes again. They got to him, but only just. He plays it quickly. O'Neill grabbed there by McCrone, came up out of the line. He had to make the tackle, and he was able to hit and stick. I'll give away a penalty. As you could call that the old professional foul penalty on your own line these days, just to give your teammates a chance to get set and catch their breath.
And he's tapped it.
They tap it and go. No try scored at the second half belongs to the Cowboys. Trying to run to the scoreline right here. Tamalolo playing for Hampton. Now Bolton comes towards Selle. Not much doing there in a 4-man tackle. An even slower play the ball now as they ensure he hits the turf. Gilla Mosby, a long way in from the sideline. He's almost on the 20-metre hash marks there as that play came towards him. Now a little more width. Morgan at the line, loves a cutout ball but hangs on to it. Wrapping to this left-hand side of the field, playing it to Hampton. Goes to Asiata. He wants Spina to go back underneath him. Front rower obliges. And we've got one more left from the uprights. Goes across to Asiata, chips it towards the corner. A chance out wide for Felt. Coming up with it, man. If it wasn't touched by Felt, this will be a goal line dropout. And on the advice of the sideline official, Henry Perinara says it is a Dragons dropout.
It was a lovely kick from Asiata.
Shot clock.
Reverse this.
Yeah, well, it's come off man, and then he's recaught it. Do you think that's touch felt, Kev?
I think it's touch felt.
If it's touch felt, it'll be a goal line dropout. Thompson on your screen there, getting absolutely run over the top of by Taumalola.
And as we speak, coming around the back of the field, headed no doubt to the dressing room for a head injury assessment. No overturn from the bunker on what they saw in that replay of the contest for the ball between Felt and Mann. So it's the Cowboys who get it. The Dragons go long. Nobody as yet taking the leaf out of the Bulldogs book and going almost exclusively short of goal line dropouts.
I don't mind it, actually. I think it's a good ploy in the right situation of games.
The Bulldogs are 5 from 14 for regaining possession from short dropouts, and they have gone short so far this season. Not a bad strike rate. Taumalola will play it here. Comes across to Asiata. He gives it to Ben Spooner, and they'll stop him right in front of the post. 2 more tackles in this set. Numbers on the left-hand side. Morgan splits the hole. Tremendous hands. Well, he can do it all, John Asiata. Great pass here. They want to check it, and it might be perhaps on the suggestion of an obstruction.
Tackle 5. Try. Confirm there's no obstruction there, please, mate.
And where he catches the football.
You can see it's a defensive decision by Josh McCrone to go in, and Michael Morgan catches the ball outside the inside shoulder, so the obstruction is cleared.
Well, they've scored some tries like that in the past.
And we have a
memorable one against the Melbourne Storm at Suncorp Stadium. And tonight, again, showing on that sweep from the right-hand side to the left-hand side with his speed. It all goes like clockwork, as it did just then. And the pass from Asiata. What a touch.
Kev, you spoke about it being Michael Morgan having to get them back into the game, and this time it was Asiata to Morgan. And what a play. He's a front rower. He's a front rower. He's gone to 5'8" tonight. He's putting crossfield kicks in. He's playing short block plays into the line. He can do it all, Asiata.
Have a look where he's got the ball, though. Right on his hip. That's classic Andrew Johns. Showing the football, and then right at the precision time to pass, he's unloaded the pass to Morgan. I thought Morgan was going to get smashed sitting up here in the stands, and all of a sudden it opened up for him.
He might find himself at 5'8" next week.
As we talk about Michael Morgan's form in recent times, of course, the Test match just around the corner, the Origin Series on the horizon as well. 28-16, 12 the difference here. Still 17 and a half minutes remaining.
Yeah, the difference in this second half is they've attacked that right side, which you said, Kev, but Michael Morgan's running the football.
He's getting himself into the game, isn't he?
Cowboys, similar situation in the second half against the Tigers last week. Got themselves into the chance to be a factor in the last 5 minutes. Couldn't go on with it there. The Tigers scored a try at the end of the game to put that one to bed. If they can score here sometime in the next 10 minutes or so, we have got a finish on our hands as Morgan turns it back on the inside for Hess. And it's almost like roles have reversed completely, with the forward pack of the Cowboys muscling up and causing inroads into this Dragons defensive line, especially on that right-hand side, with Hess really aiming up in this second half. Asiata puts it in the air, doing it all. McDonald underneath it, loses it, a chance for the Cowboys. Cleaned up. Scott Bolton ended up with it, and they might be in again. Off the bomb from
We're going back to tackle 1. Have a try.
It came down beautifully to make it a contest, and Henry Perinara importantly says try.
Well, I'll just check this contest here. We'll need to see on the other angle if Gila Mosby touches the football.
We've cleared the contest for the ball. It's backwards Dragons.
It'll be picked up by Cooper. In fact, it's Bolton.
Is there a hand there from...
Just looking to clear that there's no Cowboy touch.
No, that's fine.
Ooh, does that... Watch his index finger there, I think it is.
I don't see it from that angle.
No.
Play on at this stage, backward off the Dragons.
He said try. It's too hard to overturn.
Just taking a look at the pickup here. There was no problem with that. From Scott
Cowboys
Bolton.
take possession of the ball cleanly.
It was close,
That's a try.
He got there.
but he got there okay.
Oh,
Gets to
Grounded,
the
we have a
line.
decision going to the board.
It's a night for the front rowers. Suddenly here for the Cowboys in this incredible comeback.
That's a front rower to a front rower for a try. It's unheard of.
Green lights for North Queensland. And gentlemen, it is game on here in Wollongong.
Asiata, he's come up with another big play, a towering bomb towards Nene McDonald of all people, who's come up with an error. And Bolton, Johnny on the spot, comes flying through, scoops it up beautifully. We see the contest there. McDonald loses the football. Bolton picks it up, dives over. And all of a sudden, we've got a ball game on our hands. 28 points to 20 with a kick to come. It could be a 6-point ball game here in a minute.
From beside the uprights. Kyle Felt pushes it slightly. It stays inside that right-hand post. 28 plays 22. It might be an afternoon for it. 18th try in Scott Bolton's career earlier today. We saw Melbourne race out to a huge lead against the Sea Eagles and almost coughed that one up. Here are the Dragons, who led at half-time, 28 points to 4. Now it's 28 playing 22. Tries to Spina, Morgan and Bolton. All converted, importantly, by Kyle Felt. It's a converted try the difference. A quarter of an hour remaining. There's a bit of a look about the Cowboys suddenly too. The Dragons have lost their intensity, aren't matching it with the Cowboys forwards. And all those possession stats we were running through at half-time, the Dragons had 66% of the ball in the first half. Right now, it's 50% each. Asiata goes to Ponga. He's away into the backfield. Runs towards Nightingale. Puts a kick in. He perhaps liked that one over. They had one more tackle up their sleeve. McDonald was able to recover. But he's lightning, isn't he?
Oh, he's lightning, yeah. And thinking ahead. And as soon as he got the ball in his hands, he used his speed and then straight away put boot to ball. Unfortunately, didn't quite come off for him there. Just looking at here, John Asiata, he's limping here on the wing, some sort of leg injury to the Cowboys half. Or he's a front row. What is he, Mick?
Well, he's a half.
He is
every
tonight.
way.
Yeah, tonight he is.
What a play. The throw from inside the 40. Enough angle on the kick. It goes down to Ponga. And he'll bring it back, taking himself to Tyson Frizzell and also Aitken. And they'll drag him back some 5 metres as well. And begin this set just outside their own 20.
Well, the momentum shift here is all the way of the Cowboys here as we see another high tackle. There's Leeson arm out on Kyle Felt. And the energy's gone out of the Dragons. The Cowboys are running much harder. They're doing what the Dragons did in the first half. They're completing their sets. They're playing down that right channel with their experience. Hess is getting the football. O'Neill's getting the football. Morgan's attacking down there.
To emphasise your point about completing their sets at half-time, they were 6 sets completed from 12 total sets in this second half. They are 17 from 19.
There you go.
Spina plays at Hampton. Goes to Asiata. And now Bolton takes it inside the 40. try score. Spooner a try score. Hampton, for Taumalolo. And the step, he fends away from Vaughan, gets away from McInnes. Frizzell has to come in. He gets an offload away. Hampton off and running, gives it to Morgan or Jink, and he weaves to his right-hand side. He lost the ball. It's a knock-on. A knock-on against the Cowboys. Oh, they were building again.
Knock on. Everyone's taking some shot clock on.
We've got Tyson Frizzell.
Morgan pleading a case. It looked like a fairly simple error in the tackle here. Was he saying it was stripped out?
Yeah, well, he had the ball out, didn't he, in his left hand there. What looked to be looking for an offload. We see here, he beat Widdop with some lovely footwork.
Heads in, please, Jack. Cameron. Don't go early, Jace.
Just a loose carry.
Yeah. And that takes the air out of the Cowboys' attack.
Well, muscle up defensively here and try and force a mistake. And the ascendancy as far as momentum. Still 6 points behind on the scoreboard, but an age to go in this game. Aiken playing it. McDonald out of dummy half. The meters that were coming so easily to them had dried up for the Dragons in his last 15 or so minutes. The Bellin trying to rectify that. Pops it out the back. From McInnes, it goes to Packer. They're up very quickly. Taumalolo going to rattle him up. And now out of dummy half. McDonald stepping. Goes past Cooper, who hangs with him. Grabs him by the coattails. They've got one more play. The Bellin at the line. Gives it to Widdop. Some numbers here for the Dragons again. Tipped on by Nightingale. Laffey, man down the sideline. Stops, shapes to kick. Eventually gives it back to Widdop. He will put a kick in. Frizzell is chasing through. A chance. Out of play. A recovery there by Gideon Gella-Mosby.
What a save there from Mosby. He had some pressure. He could hear the footsteps of McDonald coming. Widdop sees out the corner of his eye. McDonald pushing through. Asiata checks Frizzell. Mosby slipped over and he just saves the day. But the Dragons get a repeat set and they're on the attack now.
Been a while since they've been down here. They've only had, in fact, one tackle inside the Cowboys' 20 in this second half.
They just haven't been down here because of the ball control of the Cowboys. Find themselves here now. See what they can conjure up here, the Dragons.
Hohlfeld's dropout. Wobbling down 50 metres on the fly. Brings it back. The pass goes to ground. Man's there to clean it up. It will cost them some metres here, and they begin this set off the dropout in their own territory. Everything was happening for them in the first half. Not much at the moment. Packer played here just outside the 40. And then Frizzell puts it down. Well, what's happened? They reverted to the Dragons of 2016.
Yeah, a little fundamental error there from Tyson Frizzell. He won't be happy with that. Neither is Paul McGregor in the box. He'll be absolutely livid with this second half from his side. And it just shows off the kickoff. We see the error here. This was from Frizzell, but he's brought Packer and he's brought Vaughan. He's brought all these big guns back into the attack because they've fallen off the pace here in the second half. And then Packer tries to pass the ball to a fullback winger off a tap, off the dropout. Just needed to go forward.
Wasn't doing that in the first half. Bonding up.
Perhaps a bit of doubt creeping into the Dragons, making errors that were unthinkable in the first half. Cohen Hess, he's away, gives it to Felt, bounces out of the tackle of Nightingale. Still going, Felt. Cohen Hess, Kevin Walters. Pick your jaw up. Here is Morgan. Goes to Asiata. Ponga, quick hands. Linnett, Gella-Mosby steps away from McDonald. Still going, Gella-Mosby. They round him up. Frizzell made the tackle. Here is Asiata showing it, giving it to Taumalolo.
They've got to go right.
They've got to go back to Hess. It's screaming for a Hess special. up against an outside back. They go that way. Asiata showing it. Nobody falling for the dummy. Ball comes out the back, stays alive. Kafusi is there to clean it up. He'll play it here. Asiata still struggling, but they've got one more play. On the right-hand side, Hampton has it dead from dummy half, and that will be the changeover.
Well, they just grabbed him there from dummy half. Hampton was looking for options.
He was looking for Hess. That's where he's had a lot of... He's scored 6 tries this season, all from that short range. But he just couldn't get the ball to him, and Hampton pulled down inches short of the try line. And now Lafayette trying to work it off his own line.
There is some pressure here on the Dragons, hanging on to this 6-point lead. McDonald coming in. He'll be stopped there at his own 10. On his knees, trying to pinch a couple of extra metres to get something going for them. Now Kurt Mann. Not much headway there for him. 3 plays gone. McInnes from dummy half. There was only one marker.
Great run.
He grabbed 10 metres and got a quick play the ball as well. Now they're out of danger. Nightingale testing them out. Grabbed there by Cooper. He was pleading a case for a lost ball. The referee disagreed. McCrone on the last gives it to Aiken, and they'll die there. Did they realise it was the last tackle?
I think they certainly did. It was an option for McCrone to run, but it was McDonald who missed the jump. He had no option but to play short to Ewan Aiken.
Gillum Osby looking for a runner. Decided to hang on to it. Might have been a good thing as well. Here's Leary. Already provided one try with a grubber. Now Kafusi goes across the halfway line. He'll play it for Leary midway through this set. 6 minutes remaining. Cowboys down by 6, but they are making so many metres on that right-hand side of their attacking line. Morgan just about away again. He's played it incorrectly.
Well, he won't be happy with that, Morgan. They're starting to get some flow on that right edge. They're looking dangerous. He's just lost the ball in the tackle here, trying to play it quickly. Yeah, it's just fallen out of his one-hand carry.
Trying to play an up-tempo game and keep this roll going. He's paid the price right there.
Yeah, we're all here. Let's go.
It's the Dragons' game to lose. 5 minutes and change remaining. They just have to keep their heads here. It needs Widdop and McCrone to stand up and make sure they get to their kick. It's a similar situation to the Titans last night against the Broncos. We saw how the Titans didn't take the right options at the back end of that game. See if the Dragons can right here. McDonald next across the 40-metre line. Maybe the back end of this set. Chance for a one-pointer perhaps. We know how good Gareth Widdop is. We play it here through Vaughan. Frizzell. A bit more energy about that carry.
That's what they do well.
With him, Mick, about 5 metres extra. Great run by Frizzell. McInnes is certainly within range now. The Bellin ends up on his elbows and knees. McInnes shovels it back to Gareth Widdop. An awkward-looking attempt. It's away to the left-hand side. He wasn't set. He was collapsing as he got the kick away. It'll be, importantly, a 7-tackle set. Watch it again. It wasn't all that close. Hooking back, but still about 5 minutes to the left-hand side of the upright. So that is play one right there at the 40.
Great tackle.
And it's on Blake Leary. Josh McCrone muscling up there. He'll kill some momentum in this set. Kafusi, as a result, not much doing for him. That was a big play by Josh McCrone defensively. Asiata goes across to Tamalolo, steps off the right foot, spinning in the tackle, looking for an offload, takes it to ground. Now Bolton. Support out the back. Asiata puts a kick in. Pressure here on McDonald. Had a look over his shoulder. He had to know Gillum Osby was on his hammer, and he had only one option.
Is that Jonathan Thurston playing out there, or John Asiata with his kicking game that he's brought here to Wollongong tonight? It's been terrific. That was inch perfect, that kick. think he's cramping up a little bit as well. Let's have a look at this out the back. It's great
Beautiful
technique.
kick. Look at the chase from Mosby and the speed. McDonald knew he was coming, could feel him coming. And now the Cowboys with an opportunity to level the game. Who would have thought?
Where are the points going to come from, Rick? Got to be that right edge for sure.
Yeah, I'd be looking, if I was Morgan, I'm looking for Hess.
Don't forget Tom Malolo's in there as well. He's pretty good close to the line.
Yeah.
Bolton it is who gets this set underway. Just over 2.5 minutes remaining. The Dragons a chance. They can score in this set. Send us to golden point. Here is Morgan giving it to Cohen Hess. Good effort by Gareth Whittam underneath. Quick play the ball though. Morgan has it. They're set to the left-hand side. Here's Asiata again, giving it to Ponga. Got past the tackle. McDonald saves a try. Aitken came out of the line and took a real chance and almost paid for it.
Well, he rolled the dice there, McDonald. He had to. He was outnumbered. Got on the outside here. It's 3-on-1. Just couldn't quite find the man. Unlucky there from the Cowboys. Great defence. McDonald.
Big play by McDonald there. Can the Dragons hold on?
Asiata's going to go to the back of the scrum. That's a good move. And him feeding it. Leary at the back. How creative Asiata has been. What a game.
Unbelievable.
We'll wait and see how long Thurston is out for, but he's now the new fill-in whenever JT isn't there. Morgan going sideways. Ponga straightening. He gave himself up the fear of being pinged for an obstruction play. The referee says he went to ground in time. Kyle Felt, he takes them on. Grabbed there by Vaughan and Darmau. He's not far away. They've got tackles to play with. Inside 90 seconds. Leary showing it, taking them on. Nobody falling for a dummy underneath the uprights at this stage of the game. Taumalolo at dummy half. Here's Asiata. Cut out ball. Gilla Mosby loses it. And the tackle of McDonald. And it might be enough for the Dragons to hang on.
And not played, that's the call there from Henry Perinara. And the Dragons rejoice. It's a lovely pass again from Asiata. He tried to put it on the toe. Gilla Mosby.
Yeah, you can stand up. You can stand up. Don't
and the Dragons may just hold on.
Cowboys have stopped the clock. 50 seconds remaining. There'll be no chances taken here by the Dragons. A push in the scrum by North Queensland.
They're loading up. They're loading up.
They're probably giving away the game now.
I've already called it. Ball in.
Shot clock expired.
Out.
Let's play on here. There is a push in the scrum. The Dragons have it.
Tackle one.
It was Cameron McInnes who ended up with it. They've been given a huge scare here in this second half. They led 28 points to 4 at half-time. And as it was all the Dragons in the first half, it's been all the Cowboys in this second half.
Dizzy's been good in McDonald tonight. Outstanding out of dummy half.
Takes his time in playing it here. 15 seconds remaining. Cowboys getting off their line quickly, looking for a shot to force a mistake. One more play, perhaps. McDonald again will take it. A big fend. And the siren should sound. He's in no hurry to play it here. And the Dragons make it 6 wins from 7 games. They were stretched by the Cowboys, but they win at the death in a heart-stopper for their fans here in Wollongong. 5 tries in the opening half. They've weathered a storm and beaten the North Queensland Cowboys 28 points to 22.